Hey, my name is Logan Brown and I'm this year's Amazing Shake winner. When I first heard my name called, I was honestly really surprised because both Hadley and Sophia did a really amazing job. I was just like, there's no way this is happening right now.
A little bit about the Amazing Shake is it's a community involvement event. Those community members come in and interact with our students, and our students work their way through different challenges. Through the challenges, they learn soft skills like professionalism, how to talk to someone, and how to think on their feet. First, teachers score students in 4 areas. Based on those scores, they go to the first round, which is called Work the Room. They're set up in a room, and the students have about 8 minutes to talk to as many community members as possible. After they finish that round, they go to round 2, which is the gauntlet. That's usually the students' favorite round because it's 12 different challenges the students know nothing about. They're set up, they're themed, they have 1 minute at each of the 12 challenges to go around the room in the gauntlet and get scores, and that's what actually takes them to the next round. The third round, the students, they were a car detailer and they had a mad customer, so they had to think on their feet, and then they were a weatherman. Now, once we combine those scores, that gets them into the semifinals. It's a question and answer round. They go through 3 rounds. The first is just each student gets a question and they all have the opportunity to answer. Then we do popcorn questioning, and finally, we bring them in one at a time and ask them the same series of questions, and that determines our final 3. The finale of the Amazing Shake is really exciting because we bring our entire student body, all of our teachers, all of our faculty, all of our staff. You're looking at like 820 kids in the audience cheering their peers on, the top 3. We have community members come in, and they are a panel of judges that decide on through the question round who's going to be the winner.
The round that challenged me the most was probably the semifinals because I feel like the questions were really difficult to answer, and it was my first time in front of a real audience. I had one answer, and then somebody else said that answer. I got another answer, somebody else said that answer, and it was almost my turn, so I just had to think of something. It it was just really fast.
Logan Brown was this year's champion, and I think my favorite part about him is he just answered from his heart, and knowing him, I see him every day. He's just a genuine kid that gave true, heartfelt answers that shone through the entire competition, and he's a fun kid, and he's funny too.
Now that I won, I get the opportunity to go to Ron Clark and compete in the National Amazing Shake. So last year I tried out for the Amazing Shake and I actually didn't make the cut. But this year I tried again and I ended up winning. If you didn't compete last year or didn't make it as far as you want to this year, I would encourage you to just try again next year because like I said, I didn't even get to compete last year, but then this year I won. I think that experiences like the Amazing Shake are really important because for some kids, if they don't do these opportunities, they're probably not gonna get out of their shell until they're older. And I feel like it's just really good for you to go ahead and get out of your shell while you're still younger.
So students that maybe didn't participate or make it as far in the competition, I encourage you to give it another try next year. It's fun, you get to be around your peers, you get to do something that is very different than anything else that you'll experience while you're in school, so just give it a try. Thank you to the community members. Without community members, we can't make this possible, and that's really what the foundation of the Amazing Shake is built on, is bringing those people in the community, letting them see our kids, letting them talk to our kids, letting them see our kids shine. So if you've never done it as a community member, we would love to have you next year.